Hey there, welcome. My name is Nate Kane. This is YouTube video number 2. We're going to keep this really short and to the point here. So if you clicked on this video, I would assume it's because you want to hear if we can make the Boss ME-90 sound something like a Strymon Bigsky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it for you first, kind of what I've got worked out, and then if you like the sound, then stick around and we'll talk about it. I don't know how to do, I'm still learning how to do, I don't know how to edit or anything yet. So I don't know how to do an overlay yet of showing like the Boss ME-90 as I talk through it. So what I'm going to do is I'll take the camera at the end and I'll show the ME-90 and the Boss Katana so you can see what I've actually got dialed in. So what I'll do is I'll play it for you first. If you like it, stick around. I'll explain what I'm doing. And then at the very end of the video, I'll take the camera and I'll show what I've got dialed in. So we'll keep it pretty short here and I'll let you get on with your life. So let's hear it. So there you go. I mean, we can tweak it a little bit. I'll explain that in a second. But if you like that sound at all, you think it sounds all right, then stick around. So here's what I was playing around with. Cutting right to the chase, the money maker here is the Terra Echo effect, or Boss has a standalone pedal of the Terra Echo, and I don't really know what this thing does. Here's what it sounds like with everything all the way down. So I have all reverbs off. So this is just dry into the Katana. Okay. Here's what the Terra Echo sounds like with everything down. And then here's what it sounds like with everything up. Brace yourself. It's nuts. Okay, obviously that's crazy. That's not what we're going for. But basically it seems like with the Terra Echo, I don't know what it does, but it seems like one of the knobs, when you have that up, it kind of affects like almost a reverb sound that makes the sound last. The other one kind of makes it dance a little bit. And the way that I would explain a Strymon Bigsky sound is a reverb that dances. So if you turn that feedback up where it kind of makes it lush, I'm gonna turn that to like 75, like 3 o'clock, and then I've got the time set to like 9 o'clock, or like, yeah, you get it, whatever. I'll show it at the end, so just stick around at the end and I'll show the board. But here, what you get, this is no reverb, okay? This is just the Terra Echo with a little bit of like the modulation and then a lot of the time that feedback. Here's what that sounds like. So you kind of get where I'm going with it. It kind of sounds like a lush reverb that dances a little bit. I can turn that modulation up a little bit more. So like this. That's a little too much modulation for me, so I'm gonna turn that back down. And that's pretty much it, guys. Like, again, at the end of the video, I mean, look in the description, like there's gonna be a timestamp for when I'll show the board, but let me add those reverbs back in. I'm using the spring reverb on the ME-90, and I've got the plate reverb set to like 12 o'clock on the Katana. And then you get this. I don't know. I think it sounds pretty good. What do you think? I think it sounds close enough to a Bigsky that where I'm not using it all the time, I don't want to go spend the $700 on their latest and greatest pedal. I don't know. What do you think? I think it sounds pretty all right. To me, it sounds good enough to where, you know, I've been using this for my shows where I only have a couple songs where I'm using this effect. Good enough for me. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. I'm going to grab the camera now and I'll show the pedal board and the amp so that way you can actually get some eyes on what those effects are. So check this out. We're going to start on the Katana. So on the Katana, I've just got the clean amp setting. My EQ, I've got it set to, this is the Katana 100 Gen 3. So I'm on the second contour. I mean, that stuff is just for tone, but really what we're looking at is this reverb. So this is their plate reverb set to 12 o'clock. And then here's the moneymaker. So the ME-90, I've got the spring reverb just cranked all the way up. So that's right here. So spring reverb all the way up. This is dusty. Anyways, and then the Terra Echo delay here, I've got the time set to, like I said, about 20, and the feedback. So this is what makes it dance. This is the modulation. I feel like kind of like 30 or higher is too much for me. So somewhere in like 20, maybe like 25 is good for that. And then the feedback, this is what makes it sound more or less lush. So I have that dialed in. I usually keep that between like 70 and 90, I find is pretty good. And then the effects level, obviously that's just going to turn it up or turn it down. I find if I'm doing like swells, having it around like 60 or 65 is good because it really lets the effect carry at a similar volume to the chord that you played. So you don't hear a big drop off when you roll your volume off to like move to the next chord, right? So if you're doing like a big volume swells like on different hits with chords, then I like to have the level a little higher. If I'm just playing, I don't want this to be overwhelming, so, I mean, maybe keep it around like 50, something like that. So nothing too groundbreaking, guys, but that's just kind of what I found. So let me know what you think. Do you think that sounds good? Do you think it sounds pretty close to a Big Sky? Is this something you want to try at home? You can get the Terra Echo pedal on its own. So even if you don't have an ME-90 or another Boss Multi-Effects pedal, you can just grab that pedal, stack some reverbs, and give it a shot. But yeah, let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.